The term Junction City was a pure description of Ogden almost from the start. Just a few decades after the city's incorporation in 1869, the Transcontinental Railroad was completed, making Ogden a transportation center.
There were about 7 railroads that came together here in Ogden and radiated out from Ogden. It was really the crossroads of the West.
This quickly changed Ogden. In just one decade, Ogden's population tripled with a vast diversity unlike any other city.
Clifton's started in 1946. When it first started, we had all the downtown stores bustling up and down the street and Washington Boulevard, but a big change came in the 1970s.
In the 1960s and 70s, the interstate highway system and changes in train operations took this traffic away from Ogden.
In 1971, the railroads got out of the passenger business and, they don't stop in Ogden anymore.
Along with the railroad went the economic engine that drove tourism, jobs, and downtown retail. Ogden City experienced an increasing decay in downtown business.
So many people say, why did we take all the stores out of Ogden, but they were leaving. So many of them were going out of business and leaving Ogden at that same time in the 1970s.
There was quite a bit of crime. It was pretty dark, pretty dangerous. About 5 o'clock, it became a ghost town. You would not bring your family into downtown, and a lot of the glass fronts were broken, plywood in windows, duct tape over windows.
The biggest issue was that the jobs were not growing. There was no growth and direction in the community.
The idea of redeveloping downtown, it was just one of those situations where there wasn't a lot of promise to do that, and we really needed it for the sake of the Ogden's economy and our tax structure.
That's when we got together and met as this team and said, we're going to clean up the physical image. On weekends as volunteers, we had paint donated and started painting graffiti. And we replaced windows, we painted storefronts until it looked really pretty good. And people would notice, hey, there's a change.
A key player in this was Matthew Godfrey, who was the mayor of Ogden during this entire time of rebirth. And he was able to have the energy, commitment, and dedication to reach out to organizations outside the community.
We're grateful for the partnerships we've had and look for great things to happen again in the future. Thanks for coming.
He's the one who had the vision and had the information, was able to rally the troops and the key players, and let's get together and we can do this.
The effort set into place cleaning up the blighted areas, adding almost 1 million square feet of office space, recruiting over $1 billion of investment to Ogden, and revitalizing more than 150 acres in downtown.
In 2004, we saw the first outdoor recreation company come to Ogden as their North American headquarters, and that was Descent USA. That began a cycle or an opportunity to attract other organizations through utilizing them as a contact point in that industry, but also in energizing the administration and others in the community on this concept of outdoor recreation.
About 2005, the Economic Development Department of the city approached us, asked if we'd be interested in partnering up with them and building a Gold's Gym downtown Ogden and a new high adventure recreation center.
The rec center, they're calling it. I don't know if I would have called it a rec center because it's more than that. There's a Gold's Gym, also a bowling alley, a family bowling alley, but it also has a skydiving, wind tunnel, a wave machine that for kids to, or adults too, I suppose, to surf, rock climbing wall, all sorts of great opportunity for people to come together here in the middle of town.
This center was built, which I thought was a great opportunity that the city had to partner up with private businesses. So doing that, we had all the financial responsibilities of whether the businesses were going to succeed or not. In addition, we paid all of the personal property taxes, real property taxes, things that wouldn't have been paid if the city had owned the facility themselves and operated it. In this case, it acted as the catalyst to revitalize downtown.
Because of this new branding and awareness of who we were as a community, the branding is an outdoor recreation mecca. It was a lot easier to get businesses to listen to and come here to consider moving their companies or expanding their companies.
It's obviously an important day for us as an organization, and I hope it's an important day for the city of Ogden and its residents. I think it kind of represents a special turning point, and had so many people come to me and thank me for believing in Ogden enough to invest in this project, as others have done and others will do with housing and commercial developments on the rest of these 3 lots.
As soon as we announced we were going to break ground, Larry Miller then jumped in and announced that he was going to build the Megaplex 13 across the street from us.
I remember coming down to work one day, and Larry Miller was on the news and saying, "I am in Ogden only because of the mayor here."
Matthew Godfrey and his team recruited over 8,000 jobs to the community, leading the nation in job growth his last year in office. The vision, jobs, retail, and entertainment they brought to the community breathed new life and excitement into the town.
I do business in a lot of cities all across the country. I've built buildings from New Hampshire to Seattle, Washington, and I deal with governments, local government in all those places. And very seldom do you find somebody that is willing to take the risk and step outside of their comfort zone a little bit in order to make something better. And he's done it. I've got all of the respect in the world for him, having experienced many different governments in a lot of different states across the country.
We've been in business 5 years, been very successful, received a number of publications and interest worldwide on our building and what the city had done to rebrand itself as this outdoor recreation center.
I think everybody caught the vision of what this could be behind Mayor Godfrey's leadership. And it was amazing to see where we were and where we are today. And we credit him for his leadership and his vision and his guidance and his can-do attitude. And when you have that kind of momentum, anything can be done. And he's a visionary that can pull that together, pull groups together, pull the different entities together and really make a difference and revitalize these downtowns just as he has done in Ogden, Utah.
Call the Better City team at 1-801-920-0000 or visit bettercity.us.